Welcome back, my gentle people. This is Corner Stories, and today we have some very interesting stories for you, a bit of petty revenge mixed in with some family drama. So let's get into it. My grandparents give each of their grandkids enough to buy a house when we graduate from college. We have to get through college on our own. My older brother made it through with some debt, so he paid that off and still had enough for a 50% down payment and money in the bank for emergencies. I was lucky enough to qualify for a scholarship as well as a bursary through my father's employer. When I graduated, I bought a small house close to public transportation so I could take the train to work. A few years later, I met and married my husband. He met my cousin Yvonne at my wedding. She is beautiful. I know I'm not ugly, but she is gorgeous. They started an affair about 3 months after the wedding. I found out because they are both stupid. I was hurt. But more than that, I was furious. I wanted to kick him out immediately and divorce him. Instead, I waited almost 6 more months. A month before she graduated from university, I went to my grandparents and broke down. I told them that I just found out about the cheating and that I was shattered. That my own family would do that to me. I stayed with them for a couple of weeks. My husband tried to get to me, but I didn't talk to him. My grandmother helped me get a lawyer for the divorce during this time. My cousin has basically been shunned by the family now. My house was a premarital asset and was covered in our prenup. I gave my ex 1 month to move out. My grandparents are old school about marriage and family. They are beyond pissed. They said that they couldn't fix what she did, but they could make their displeasure clear. They gave me her money. She had taken out student loans since she knew she could pay them back. She also chose a degree that was not exactly in the STEM areas, so she will not be making a great salary coming out of school. My ex is begging me to let him stay because he loves me. I said that he would not sleep with other women if he loved me. I know he doesn't. He just did the math and found out how much of a hole he is. My aunt and uncle are pissed off at me for screwing their baby out of so much money. I want to be clear here. It was never my intention to take her money. I just wanted our grandparents to not give it to her. Me getting it was just frosting on the cake. Right now the family is divided, but mostly on my side. They do not want to openly disagree with my grandparents. Everything is over and done with. The divorce will take a little more time, but my money is in my retirement account. My ex is out of my house. And my cousin can go F herself. I feel guilty about not confronting them immediately and for bringing my grandparents into it. My ex asked me how I knew. I told the dumbass his texts were all showing up on our tablet before he deleted them. I had screenshots of everything. So I guess I'm asking if I went too far and whether that makes me the only asshole in this situation. Some opinions on this story. I feel really bad that OP's relationship fell apart, and I hope she heals and moves on from her cheating ex, but I have to say, well played OP, I am super proud of how you handled yourself and dealt a massive blow to those two. Anyway, I digress. Here are some relevant comments. Also feel free to drop a like or subscribe to the channel and join the community. She knew she was doing wrong and she should have known there might be consequences. She ain't a kid anymore, she is responsible for her own actions. The cousin didn't accidentally fall on OP's husband's penis. The both of them are acting like shit. Both have to face the consequences of their actions. Like many normal people, I have been with my partner for a long time and met many of her gorgeous cousins and workmates. Never thought, you, gotta bang, because WTF? OP's ex met her beautiful cousin on his own wedding and had to ruin their lives? Sad. And dear cousin? Did she have to take him because I am gorgeous? Sad. Now let's move on to story 2. To give you some background context, I am 20 while my cousin, who we'll call Irene, is 16 going on 17. This background information is from a year prior to the new drama going on, but is important to the story. Irene and I used to be very close and had lots of sleepovers as we grew up. One night during a cousin sleepover my grandparents throw every summer, Irene was asking me a lot of questions involving sex because she was considering losing her virginity to her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is a senior. I don't really like her boyfriend, but knew no matter what I thought, she would do what she wanted anyways. Irene was asking me a lot of questions about some intimate stuff going personal to my own experiences. I never went into detail with her, just saying, yes I've done that, or no I haven't, since I don't think she needs gross details. Well, the next day when Irene's mom, my aunt and another aunt of mine came to pick up my other female step-cousin, who is 13. Irene told both my aunts and grandparents everything I said to her and added in details to things I never said. She even said I told them things in detail, these things were things I haven't even tried. But due to my cousin's detail, they all assumed it had to be true. This meant now that my entire family knew of my intimate life. And details that were untrue. When I told my parents and siblings the truth, they were angry. Despite them advocating for my innocence. I took the fall and apologized to all my family members, not wanting the drama to break up my family. I knew I was in the wrong for having this conversation to begin with. But I was just thinking of being a good cousin friend for Irene. Plus, I never thought that she would do something like this to me. So the only reason I apologized and took the fall for everything is only due to my grandparents getting older and not wanting this drama to hurt the entire family even more. Since my grandparents don't deserve to play referees. Now on to the real story. My mom's side of the family had a get-together. I brought my fiancé, who I have been with for 2 years, with me. This, however, is his first time going to one of my mom's side of the family's big event with me. Irene was there with her family, which I wasn't surprised by. However, I avoided talking to her and didn't introduce my fiancé to them either. The whole event was going good with no drama. Until when we were all sitting down to eat and Irene said, "So Jay, are you just not gonna say anything to me?" I responded, "I have nothing to say to you," which angered her. Irene looked to my fiancé and said, "I don't know if she told you. But Jay is a huge slut." Without even thinking, I stood up and threw my Dr. Pepper all over her. Everyone was stunned. I only said, "You lie as much as the devil," and got up and went to the car. My parents, siblings, and fiancé all came after me and we left for my parents' house. Everyone on that side is calling me an asshole, and I do have some regret with how I handled the situation. But I also have a sense of justice was served for the lies that were said. Edit. Thank you everyone for your advice, I really do appreciate this. Irene did tell me her reasons a month after her stabbing me in the back. Her reasoning for what she did to me has to do with her mom. My aunt, Irene's mom, was always told her to be just like me. When I was in high school, I made excellent grades, did theater, worked a part-time job, and babysat my 8 younger siblings on a good majority of my days off. I even gave up hanging out with friends sometimes to help my family out. My grandparents also held me in high regard since I am their oldest grandchild and oldest granddaughter. My aunt had told Irene that she should be more like me in front of me once. I told my aunt that my cousin is perfect how she is. That she has no reason to be like me. Irene is special in her own way. I had no idea how much Irene despised me for this, and she even told me that day that she isn't sorry for what she did. I had calmly responded to that, "Then there is no reason for us to talk anymore. Also, I will be taking everyone who advised me to share my side with my other family members. So I will update again to let everyone know how that goes." My opinion on this story is that OP sounds really mature and level-headed, and I understand not wanting family drama, but now we see the consequences of staying quiet and letting the perpetrator off without any consequences. It never benefits anyone to stay silent on these matters just for family peace. The person that did the wrong will just look at it as open season to do and say as they like. Comments. Oh bad it wasn't in a glass bottle at the time. She's a massive AH. You need to effing unapologize. I don't care who's getting older. I am sick of people being forced to be the bigger person when someone treats them this way. It's a load of bullshit, and I have never made my kid apologize for defending themselves from a bully. Have they always bullied you and ignored your side because you folded like a rug? You should have doubled down. Make sure she's not allowed anywhere near your wedding, or she might try to reciprocate and ruin your outfit. And if she ever brings a new boyfriend to a family get-together, make sure you return the gesture by telling him she's a maniacal backstabbing snake. I suggest you write the honest account up as a concise bulleted email and send it to your entire family. Otherwise, Irene will keep holding this over you as long as you live. Tip: be very factual and concise when writing it. Say that you took the fall to avoid hurting your grandparents, but that you have now realized Irene plans to keep tormenting you with her lies and you are done. State calmly at the end that you have disowned Irene because of her sabotage and lies. You will not be at any family events where she is, and she will not be invited to any you may host in the future. State that none of this is up for discussion. Then, if people question or pressure you, forward them the email again and leave the conversation. Leave their house if necessary. Story 3. I, M33, was best friends with R, F33, for 10 years, and although we had many common interests and hobbies, our personalities clashed often. She was a great person to be around, but she was also very jealous and insecure. The main issue we would argue about was her attempts at telling me who I could and couldn't be friends with, and this was also a rule she attempted to make when it came to relationships I was in. One night while we were out with friends, R pulled me aside and demanded I break off any relationship I was in at that moment. I wasn't in one, and stated she would need to approve of anyone going forward. She also tried to downplay personal issues I was going through at the time and stated those didn't need as much attention as I thought. I left and she sent texts all that night restating everything she said. R never apologized for what she said and I cut her off. This past week, a mutual friend of ours told me R's jealousy has caused most of our mutual friends to keep their distance and she wants to apologize starting with me. I refuse to hear her out because it doesn't seem like she's changed and I'm also in a happy and healthy relationship which R has a history of having problems with. This friend has stated that by not accepting her apology, I'll be ensuring R is left as an outcast to our other mutual friends. Update. I cut off an old friend because of her possessiveness and jealousy. To briefly summarize, she confronted me at an outing and told me I would have to abide by her rules of needing her approval for anyone coming into my life. I cut her off and haven't spoken to her since. The previous post I made was about a mutual friend of ours who told me over the past several years, R had caused most of our friend group to distance themselves from her, and R asked to speak with me first to apologize, which she hoped would make our friends be more accepting of her apologies. I didn't agree to go along with this, and from what I heard, this caused her to call and text our friends going back and forth between bashing everyone and begging for their forgiveness. I've had her blocked everywhere so she didn't attempt to reach me. I've been with my girlfriend for a few years and she's really amazing. GF is aware of R and knows how problematic she was while we were friends. Yesterday R sent GF a message on social media accusing me of cheating and she provided dates and times of this cheating. These dates were days I was with GF, so those didn't match up. GF showed me the messages and asked if she could press further for more information, which I agreed to out of curiosity. R began to word vomit and lie after lie was being sent to the chat. GF thanked her and said she would speak with me, but we left it at that. This morning, GF made a post of the both of us out on a date this past weekend with pictures and some loving words. A couple hours later, my friend B said R was calling the last of our friends she speaks to with the same accusations of me being a cheater. No one believed her, she lashed out at them, and they're now all blocking her. As of right now, R has been on social media having a meltdown and posting about betrayal, fake friends, and oddly, the one who got away. I can't say with certainty she's referring to me as this one, but it would explain a lot. Comments: achievement unlocked, same bullet dodged twice. The fact that the bullet curved and came back for seconds is insane. Have you seen Wanted with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie? She is that bullet. Now let's move on to the final story. This is a short one but a good one. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get into it. I'm working overseas right now and I managed to get tickets for Taylor Swift in Singapore. The concert is this coming Saturday. My plan was to fly my girlfriend over for a little vacation. It's a long ways from Connecticut, so she was going to be staying for 10 days. I was clear and I told her that we would have 2 weekends together as well as the evenings, but that I still had to work during the daytime. Last week she called me and said she was not okay with us being long distance and that after the concert we were over. I asked for clarification. She said she would come for the 10 days and we could have fun, but that we were done. I can have fun without paying for it. I transferred her the one ticket and cancelled everything else. She called me to scream at me for cancelling the flights and hotel. I told her that I wasn't going to discuss it and hung up. I blocked her on everything. I am hearing from people back home that she has lost her shit. She had been bragging about getting to see Taylor Swift and the vacation. Now she is telling everyone that I cancelled the plans just out of the blue. I guess that is sort of true. I did not discuss it with her before I made my decision and did what I did. I unblocked her long enough to offer to buy the ticket back if she wasn't going to use it. That conversation was unpleasant and involved a lot of profanity. The upshot was she would rather let it go to waste than let me have it. Her friends have been defending her and calling me an asshole. My position is that I would feel like a John flying her over for fun. And that is the end of the story. That's it guys, this is where I will leave you. I hope you enjoyed the stories I had for you. I certainly enjoyed them. Please be sure to drop a like or a comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel, but no pressure. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I will see you. Corner Stories signing off.